Hello, and welcome to the Z-Hut. Today, I would like to show you several different ways that you can extend your USB cable up to over 300 feet. Now, there's many applications to where you'd want a longer USB cable, and you can buy cables up to about 20, I've seen them around 20, 25 feet. The only problem is when you start getting a cable, the standard USB cable that's more than 10 feet long, you're going to start to run into glitches and problems with devices not wanting to work correctly. About 10 feet is rule of thumb. Don't really go over that with just a standard USB cable. Now, there are options to go longer, and that's what we're going to do here. We're going to go over a couple. Now, the first option I'm going to show you, this one, here it is right here. This is a cable, a USB cable. It has an amplifier built into it. And I've seen these up to around 50 feet long. If you searched around, I'm sure you could find them just a little bit longer than that and probably a little shorter. But 50 feet, that'll give you a good range. Say you wanted to run a USB camera, into the next room or out a window a little ways, and you only needed to go about 50 feet. This would work perfectly fine for that. Or if you needed to extend your printer or some other USB device, this would work pretty good right here. This would work really good. And they're not very expensive. I think these are around $20. And you can find them various places such as eBay, Amazon, Deals Extreme, Geek, pretty much any online store that carries computer stuff, you're going to be able to find these. But now, let's say you want to go even longer. You want to go up to around 300 to 400 feet. Now, 400 feet's kind of pushing it to the absolute max, and you might start getting some glitches. But if you run these up to around 300 feet, you're going to be completely fine. And what these do is these use Ethernet cables, Cat5 and Cat6. The longer, if you're going to be running this much more than 100 feet, I would probably use a Cat6 cable instead of the Cat5s. And it's just a higher quality cable. Now these, there are some cheaper versions of them that will only run up to around 100 to 150 feet. So if that's all the further you need to go, you can get the cheaper ones, and they're around $10. I've seen them even just slightly less than that, but you're talking around $10. Now, they have some more expensive ones, and these ones, they were around the $15 to $20 range, and I would recommend buying one of the more expensive ones because you're going to get a better quality. Generally speaking, the more you pay for something, generally you're getting what you pay for. But I've seen them where they were like 330, 350 feet was the maximum range on them. And usually you can go a little higher than what the rating is. But what's going to happen then is you're going to start running into possibilities of glitching. And depending on what you're using, if you were just using a USB camera, you'd probably be fine. But if you were trying to like run a printer 300 feet away from your computer, it ain't going to work correct. You might get lucky, it might. Now, nowadays, most printers actually have wireless features built into them, but I still like to run my printer cabled. It's not that far from my computer. I got a 10-foot extension cable, and that works perfectly fine with it. But this these options are more for running like USB cameras and stuff like that you want to have quite a distance away from the computer. Now, if you use an OTG cable with an Android device, I'm not sure. I haven't tried it, but these could possibly work with Android as well, because you can get those little OTG cable adapters that allow you to use USB stuff with Android devices. And I've used memory sticks and joysticks and computer mice and keyboards and stuff with Android using those. So I'm assuming there's a good chance this would also work with the Android device. Now, I did some research. I was kind of curious. I would have thought they'd made a wireless version, and I couldn't find anything. There might be something out there. I didn't spend a lot of time. I was like maybe 5-10 minutes on Google looking around and on eBay and stuff, and I didn't run across one, which actually surprised me. I would have thought by now they would have made a USB wireless extender, but obviously they haven't, or I just didn't run into it. So, well, these are your options for extending your USB cable. I hope you found this information useful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Also, if you look in the description below, you'll find a link to my website, and I'll have some links on there to where you can go and find these. They're pretty much, I believe they're just called USB Ethernet cable adapters or something like that. But I'll have links on the website if you would like to check these out. And I actually have one of these and use it. And I've used it with, well, the one I have only goes up to 150 feet. That I ran like 60, 70 feet with Ethernet cable. And I put a Wi-Fi little USB dongle on there. And it worked perfectly fine. It worked really good. So I can testify to the fact that these work. I don't actually have one of the amplified cables, the first one I showed you there, but I've read some reviews on them and they seem to be pretty good. So hopefully one of them will work for you. So all right, well, with that, I'd like to thank you for joining us here at the Z Hut today. I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you here again.